Kevin, what was your reaction when you got the news?
Uh, a lot of mixed emotions. I think some relief in some way. I mean, I think you hear some rumors in the off season, something new to me at least, and then I feel like ever since I've been here, it's kind of been a topic of conversation. How you're going to deal with it? What do you think about it? How do you play with it? So I think in some weird way, it's a little bit of a relief. It's definitely an emotional time for me and my family, but um, definitely excited though. I mean, I think if there was you know, location wise, I think if, aside from maybe going back to LA or Arizona where I live, being on the West Coast is going to be a pretty cool opportunity for me to be a lot closer to my family.
What makes this so emotional for you?
It's all I've ever known, but you spend a lot of time here. You spend more time here than you do in your home in the off season, and I spend more time with people here than I do with my own family. So that 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 part of it's hard.
Have you had a chance, or any of the guys in there, have you had a chance to say goodbye to some of the guys?
Yeah, surprisingly, it was a little easier than I thought it would be. I think me and along with my teammates, I think we're just still trying to kind of process it. I think it'll be hard coming back here in a couple of weeks, though, seeing them. But I wish these guys nothing but the best.
Kevin, did the front office stay in touch with you? Did you see this coming at all?
No, to be honest with you, first time I heard about it from anyone in the front office was when Ross called me this morning. I was actually in a car on the way to go do something, and his name popped up on my phone, and I kind of immediately knew, and all I could think about is where, when he called. So, like I said, I'm very fortunate. I'm going to a first-class organization. I'm very excited to get a chance to play under Boji for his last season, get a chance to pick his brain a little bit. Don't know a ton of guys over there. Obviously, they have a lot of superstars there, guys that I'm excited to learn under. But yeah, that was the first time that I had heard anything about it. So
It's a lot to process right now, but what are some moments you'll take away from your time in Toronto? Best moments?
I mean, it's pretty easy to. There's so many different things, but obviously, getting an opportunity to win a division here is something I'll always cherish. Get an opportunity to play in the postseason in back-to-back years. Be a couple games away from going to the World Series. I think that's why everyone in this clubhouse plays. We all play to win and get to that point of the season when you're playing a postseason with a chance to go to the World Series. Unfortunately, we came up a little short, but I'm really proud of what I was able to accomplish as far as just kind of revitalizing baseball in Canada. Seeing the way the stadium was in 2013 when I first came up, seeing the way the stadium was even at the beginning of 2015, going out, win a lot of games, making some mid-season acquisitions, playing in front of a sold-out crowd for almost 2 years straight was some of the best times of my life. I always look forward to coming back to Toronto and knowing we were going to play in front of 45, 50,000 people, and we were going to have extremely passionate and rowdy fans. But, as I actually got a chance to not play yesterday and sit back in the dugout and kind of look out yesterday with the type of attendance we had, and just kind of really process the amount of change that's just happened in my short time here in the 7 years I've been here. It was tough to see, but ultimately I want what's best for this organization, and they feel like me moving on and them giving some other guys some opportunities to play. then that's what needs to be done. And this is always going to be near and dear to my heart, and this place I'll always call home. But I'm really excited to get to LA and meet my new teammates, and have a chance to play in Dodger Stadium, a place I've been wanting to play in for a long time, and grew up going to a ton of games, and get an opportunity to see my family a lot more.
Have you heard from any of your new teammates yet? Has anyone reached out to you?
Not that I know of. My phone's been blowing up. It's been pretty crazy from the time that I knew I was getting traded, which was a lot before a lot of you guys knew I was being traded. So, I had an opportunity to kind of get myself packed up and try to get my wife and family situated. But no, not that I know of. I'll check my phone on the way to the airport, and we'll see. Actually, you know what? I did see Eric Kratz did text me. He was a guy I never played with him here in Toronto, played with him in Buffalo. I know he's over there now. So that makes one.
Was it all this morning that it happened?
Yeah, no, it was all this morning. I would say it was about, I left my place at 10:30, got in the car right around 10. I mean, it was shortly after that. I was probably 2 blocks away from my place, and, had the lady driving me. I just kind of tapped her on the shoulder while I was on the phone with Ross and said I need to go back to the hotel. I didn't tell her why. It was something that Ross had told me it was happening. It hadn't happened yet. Keep it a secret. Obviously you could tell your wife. So walked back up to my place, and my wife was like, "What are you doing back?" And I broke the news to her, and it was a little emotional.
He told you just this morning it was happening, and then you found out later it did happen? Is that how
Yeah.
it went down?
I mean, I think that's typically how it happens. This is new to me. I think they kind of give you a heads up a little bit that you are going to be traded, that it's going to happen. I think it's just a matter of, whatever they do in the front office as far as maybe notifying their players, maybe people have to pass physicals, whatever it was. But he let me know around 10:30, and I don't really know what time it became official, but, it was kind of definitely a different morning.
Were you anticipating all this before today, Kevin? Though
No, I wasn't. I wasn't anticipating it being today. I think we had an opportunity to speak yesterday about some of the rumors. We had a chance to talk about it a little bit as well, and you never really think it's going to happen until it happens. I think you never really anticipate it happening, this early in the year. What happened with KMO kind of really lets you know it could happen at any time, even on the eve of opening day. So I'm not going to say I was surprised by it. I think if KMO was still here and he didn't get traded and I got traded 4 or 5 days into the season, I would be a little bit more shocked. But after KMO was sent on the day before opening day, I think everyone is a little bit more aware that it can happen at any time, any place.
I apologize if you've been asked this before, and if you have, you don't have to answer. I'll get off the other. But what's your take on the direction this franchise is obviously taking?
We don't necessarily get that information. That's something that Ross and Mark and Charlie they probably have a better idea of what they're doing. But I could just speak on the amount of talent that I've seen from playing with these guys in spring training. There is a young core group of young kids that are extremely talented, that are going to accomplish great things in Blue Jays uniform. Hopefully it's here sooner than later, but there's definitely some really talented kids that are coming up, and there's obviously some really talented guys in there that you've just seen the beginning of what they're able to accomplish in their big league careers. And like I said, ultimately I'm going to want nothing but the best from this franchise, and hopefully I'm in a position down the road in my career where maybe I get an opportunity to come back here and play, and things are looking, maybe they're going in the direction where they can use an older, experienced guy like myself.
Kevin, when you think of the 2016 season, you came off a playoff run. 2017, you were expecting contend. Are you surprised at how quickly things kind of fell apart?
I mean, I guess looking back on it, yeah, maybe a little bit. I think you have a team that was able to come within a couple games of the World Series. You have a lot of those guys coming back. 17 was definitely a little bit surprising as far as I guess just the amount of injuries we had and not being able to really get over the hump. I think we were in Chicago at some point and we were kind of hovering right around 500 and we were leading all 3 games and we ended up losing all 3, and that was kind of the turning point where kind of the wheels fell off for that season, followed up by a lot of turnover. But I don't know. I'm still fairly young in this game. You guys have been in this game a lot longer than I have. Me experiencing change as far as a new front office, going from Alex to Mark and Ross. Don't really know how that's supposed to look or what it's supposed to look like on paper. I think everyone has their ideas when they come in and take over an organization of what they want to accomplish. But yeah, I think looking back on it, you like to think in a perfect world, you have an organization, a franchise that is so close to winning, and you have pieces in place you feel like you can win, and you want to try to keep that momentum going as long as possible, as opposed to kind of shutting it down and starting from the ground floor and kind of rebuilding that up. But they have a plan in place, and like I said, they got a lot of young, talented kids in this organization that will hopefully return this place to some of the magic, some of the good times that I was able to experience here in 2015, 2016.
Given you haven't checked your phone yet, but there's a lot of fans out there who are, saying goodbye to their Superman. Really sad to see you go. What do you say to Blue Jays fans?
There's so much. The biggest thing is just thank you. They've been great to me. They've been just supportive of, a lot of things that I've gone through on the field. Personally, a lot of stuff I did off the field. Personally, I got a chance to, live my dream. I got called up as a 24-year-old kid that probably had no intentions of getting to the big leagues. Was able to have my debut here in Toronto as like I said, a 24-year-old kid. I'm leaving here as a 30-year-old man with a wife and a kid, and just a lifetime of memories. And I think I'm not Superman. I'm not the player that this city and this country kind of allowed me to almost become kind of a mythical kind of superhuman baseball player, and I can't thank him enough for that.